Hello and welcome to Leicester Fan TV for Fox's Focus. What a week it's been. So has the other, 12 other match weeks in the Championship for Leicester City. It's been a great week. Another win on the board, another win for Leicester City. We're just winning a lot of games, aren't we? If only we'd have won that whole game. But yeah, obviously, my name's Locks. Thanks to those who are joining, who are here every week. Much appreciated. This is Fox's Focus. And we've got loads to talk about. So get your comments in. Let me know how you are. Let me know what you thought to the Sunderland game. And we'll get through some topics. So let's see who's here. First of all, Scott is here. Evening, folks. Evening, Scott, mate. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Liam Batchelor is here. Hi, Liam. Thanks for joining. We've even got a little plug there for Liam's business. Batchwood Flooring, supply and fit carpet and vinyl. Look at that. That's such a good idea. It's so smart. A free plug just by putting your profile picture as your business. Nice one. Joe, right, evening, mate. Evening, Joe. Danny, LUFC Rumsey is here. Hi, Danny. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Ben Morgan's here. Locks. Hi, Ben. Thanks for joining as always. There's loads of people commenting, so thanks. Keep getting them in. Gary, right, evening, Locks. Evening, Gary. Hope you're doing well. They're getting the open top bus ready for May. Well, I did see a little thing online that there's a planning permission in for May at Vicky Park. So whether that's something to do with the title parade, we shall see. Let me just clear the camera a little bit. Sorry, guys. Gav is here. What a start. Absolutely, Gav. Absolutely. He says 36 points from 39. It's unbelievable, really. Like, I knew it was going to be great, but like 12 wins from 13. I mean, 13 from 13 would have been nice, but who are we to complain about that, eh? Who are we to complain? Jamie starts the Sunderland topic off with the Sunderland was by far the toughest game of the season so far. Still concerned for the defense. Really, you're concerned? Well, let's make that the first topic, guys. Let me know what you think to the defense. I think the defense are fine, mate. It doesn't concern me one bit. Ricardo Pereira, Yannick Vestergaard, Wout Fass and James Justin or Callum Doyle is superior to any other defence, in my opinion, in the Championship. I know certain fans will disagree. Leeds fans, for example. Danny's in the chat. He might agree. He might disagree. But you've got Stroik, obviously, Ampadu, in the defensive midfield spot. Roden. So I personally think Leicester's is clear. I do. And the stats suggest that as well. The stats suggest it. How's your friend Joe doing? Not great, I don't think. Another loss for them last night. I mean, look, I don't want to try and force a rivalry with Leeds. Loads of Leeds fans think I'm trying to force a rivalry with them. It's not that at all. It's just that there's some Leeds fans out there that are very irritating that gave me a load of at the start of the season. And now look at them. Look at them now. They're not doing anything, mate. Yeah, they're third, but they're 14 points. Guys, we're 14 points ahead of third place. Unbelievable. Leeds, Ben says here, we beat Leeds next Friday and it's over. Guys, let me just put this straight, right? Let me put this into context. Leeds could beat us. Let's just say we had Leeds twice in the league from now, right? Leeds could beat us twice and we're still 8 points clear of them. And they're not going to beat us twice. And I don't even think they'll beat us once, if I'm honest with you. They might get a draw at best, but can't see it happening. Defense would be a concern if we were conceding a couple goals a game. They look solid to me. Have we conceded more than one goal in a game yet? Have we? Let's just fact check this. I don't think we have. One against Swansea, one against Blackburn, one against Southampton, one against Rotherham, one against Cardiff, one against Coventry. We've not conceded more than one goal in a game. I mean, I personally don't see why. And a couple of the goals that we've conceded have been because of errors from just playing out the back, and that's to be expected. Risk and reward. We were lucky they had a stonewall penalty, Andrew. Yeah, but we hit the bar. We had chances. We weren't lucky, in my opinion. Cassidy stepped up. Best performance from him this season. He has struggled at times, lads. He has, and ladies, obviously. He has struggled at times, but I think he put in a really good performance. Really happy with that. Ben says Leeds losing last night was a bonus. I agree. It always helps, even though I'm not really concerned about Leeds. The fact that they lost does help morale as well, because the Leicester players will look at the league table and think, we're 14 points clear of third. That's good going. That's really good going. We've got something to show for our amazing start to the season. So, yeah, I agree. Let me know, though, what you think. You might disagree about anything that we speak about tonight. The next thing I want to touch on, or just before I move on, actually, Joe Wright's put a comment here. How many points do you think you'll finish on now, Locks? Look, people watching may or may not know, since day one, before the season even started, I believe it was July the 15th. So 2-3 weeks before the season started, I put my neck on the line and I said Leicester City will break the record points, the points record for the Championship this season. The record's 106 points from Reading in 2009, I want to say, maybe not, but it's 106 points. So I've said I think we'll break 107 points, and I still do to this day, obviously. I mean, I've got more of a reason to think it now than I did in July, so obviously I'm going to say that. So, but from July, when I saw the signings we were making, I said we would break the points record, and I got a lot of stick for it, to be fair, but insert infamous Nigel Farage meme here where he said, "You all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now." And I think it's going to happen. I really do. Dawn says, Hilux think you could be right. Well, you best believe it, Dawn. We are breaking the points record. I think my exact words as well on top of that were, warning, if there are any children under the age of, I don't know, is it 16? Please mute now. I actually said we'll piss the league. I said we would piss the league. And we would piss all over the league, including Leeds, right? And that's what I said. And I still think, well, it's being proved right so far. Right. I want to speak about something. So, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks are currently sat on 4 yellow cards each, meaning that if either of them get booked tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, whenever the game is, against QPR, if either of them get booked, they will miss the Leeds match on Friday. So, what would you do in this situation? Let me know in the comments. Would you risk them? Would you rest one of them? Would you rest 2 of them? Personally, I think Harry Winks is the most important player in the system, in the team. I don't think we can afford to risk to lose, rest him. But then you've got to think you'd rather be without him for QPR than Leeds. So let me know what you think we should do. If either of them get booked, Dewsbury Hall or Winks, they miss the Leeds game if they get booked against QPR. Good thing is that their record is wiped, so they then allowed another 4 yellow cards before the 5th one would get they'd get a suspension for. So that's good. But yeah, let me know what you think. I personally think we should rest Dewsbury Hall and keep Winks. Keep Dewsbury Hall, rest Winks, because I think Winks is more important, especially in the Leeds game. I'd save Hamza. I'd bring Hamza in for Winks, or Ndidi, and then play Cassidy further back, or vice versa. And then I'd keep Dewsbury Hall. But But yeah, neither of them could get booked, and we could chuck away points for no reason, as Ben says. But Ben, it depends on how confident Enzo is. I know you don't want him to get complacent, but QPR, come on, mate. Come on, mate. I don't think we're going to break. I think we can rest either, if not both, and still be okay against QPR. Maybe that's cocky, but I've been cocky before, and so far it's been proven right. So we'll see. Bubba reckons the opposite. Bubba reckons he'd save them both for Leeds. Joe says Leeds is more important, and I think, in all honesty, our squad's our second string could beat QPR. That's another thing I said in not quite pre-season, a bit into the season, maybe 2-3 games in. I think our second string team would get playoffs. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Am I going too far there? I think our second string team would make the playoffs in the championship, make the top 6. I honestly do. Casey McAteer, Atgun, Ian Acho or Vardy, whoever's second at this stage. I don't think we really know. Hamza, Suter, Daka. I mean, we struggle with fullbacks because we haven't really got a second string fullback because they're injured. Because they're out of the club on loan. Christensen's out on loan. Thomas is out on loan. So it's difficult. But I think we'd get top 6. Ben says second string equals piss the league. Exactly. Yeah. I'd agree. Is that really you, Ronald? Is that really you? I'd start with Winks on the bench, especially if Ndidi is able to play on Saturday. I'd agree. As long as he's back fit. He obviously had a muscle tightness, apparently, which is why I missed the Sunderland game. I've just seen that one. Yeah, Leeds is more important, and I think, in all honesty, our squad's second string could beat QPR. I really do. I really do. But guys, final comments on this topic. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think we should rest either Dewsbury Hall or Winks? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It really is. I'm just going to have a sip of this, so please bear with me. Gav Hogan has said Tom Cannon could be back for QPR. I can't see it, mate. I can't see it. Wasn't he only back on the grass last week? He was, right? Flynn and Wormleighton fullbacks. Wormleighton. It's got to be Wormleighton. Yeah, maybe not top 6 fullbacks, to be fair. There's some good fullbacks in the league, if I'm honest with you. You look at Ipswich alone. I mean, Brandon Williams, in the Premier League, not quite, but in the Championship, he's a good fullback. But maybe not there. Maybe not there. Andy says, pity Pratt is injured and he could replace Winks. Have we heard anything about Pratt? Guys, let me know in the comments. Have you heard anything about Dennis Pratt? Because I haven't. I thought he had a hamstring. I can't remember what his injury was. Let's have a look. Dennis Pratt injury. Let's have a look on Fox's Focus. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. Sorry for the delay, guys. Here we go. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries, hasn't he? He has had a lot of injuries. Ignore the holidays on the right-hand side, right, of the screen. They're my adverts, right, for booking holidays. So sorry about that. So we haven't actually got his injury here for some reason. We've got... That's the oldest one, 2022. So it's not showing up for some reason. So that's a shame. But look at the amount of injuries he's had since he joined the club. He joined the club in this season, right? So knee injury, hamstring, bone edema, muscular problems, ankle problems, foot surgery. Jesus Christ. Blemmin' hell. He needs to live at the Royal, I think, part-time or something. Ben says, what about trying out Armani Richards? I don't think we're going to go into that far. I don't think Enzo's going to go that far, mate, if I'm honest with you. I don't think there's any reason for that. Back injury, Maxine says, no announcement. Yeah, that is very strange, isn't it? What has happened there? I'm just seeing if there's anything else here. 25th of August, it said Dennis Pratt sidelined by a muscle injury. What is that about? I'm just trying to find any bit of information here. Muscle injury? That doesn't take you out for 2 months. What has happened to Dennis Pratt, guys? Try and find out and let me know, because I'm struggling here to find any information. Ben says, can't be any worse than Daka and Nacho. Had a shocker against Sunderland. Nacho, come on, that's a bit harsh. He didn't have a great game, but like, it's just happened, mate. Nacho's been very good this season, I think, when he's come on. He's made a difference. He's scored a few goals. Vardy and Nacho have 9 goals. Here's a stat for you guys. Nacho and Vardy have 9 goals combined this season, which is the same as QPR's whole team have had, who we play, right? So QPR have scored the same amount of goals as just Vardy and Nacho have for us this season. And if you think about it, Vardy and Nacho haven't been anywhere near our top goal scorers. You know, you've got McAteer and even Ndidi, and Nacho scored a decent couple. Vardy's been penalties, but Daka maybe might get a showing. You never know. I think it'll be Vardy, if I'm honest, with him only playing however many minutes the other night. But I think Daka he could get at least half or 30 minutes, 20 minutes towards the end. Yeah, it's a tough one. He was good against Andreas. I think you might be talking about Iheanacho potentially. But yeah. Next topic I want to discuss, guys, is I want to know if I've got a photo of him here. I probably don't, actually, which is a shame. No, I don't. But Will Alves, who is a very, very highly rated youngster at Leicester City, made a couple of appearances last season under Rodgers. Unfortunately, he picked up a really bad ACL injury, similar time to Sammy Braybrook. I can't remember when he picked it up. Was it January? He is on his way back. I think he's nearly back. And he has been officially promoted to the first team squad. And let me tell you, I am excited about this one. Will Alves was considered ahead of Casey McAteer a few months ago before his injury. And look what Enzo's managed to do with McAteer. I think it's incredibly exciting. We've got a player of Will Alves' potential or quality at his age coming through now, promoted to the first team, and will feature for us when he is ready. He's 18 years old, guys. He's 18 years old. And he looks like a heck of a player. Sammy Braybrook, midfielder, defensive midfielder, I believe, or can play in the 8 role, 8 or 6. He's coming back soon. A bit behind Will Alves, but it's just exciting that we've got these young players coming in who knows what in 5 years' time where they'll be at. Look at where Harvey Barnes was at. He made a cameo performance against Porto when we got battered by them in the Champions League group stage when we'd already qualified. Ranieri played a load of youth kids, and I think Barnes was probably 18 or 19 at the time. 17 maybe, and look what he went on to be. He's now a £40 million player, technically, on paper for Newcastle. So it's exciting to see, and under that type of flary attacking midfielder or winger, Will Alves, that type of flary player under Enzo, that could be really exciting and really good for his development. So I look forward to seeing that. What do you think is the minimum amount of wins it would take to win the championship? It doesn't matter, mate. We've won the championship already. Trust me on that. I'll read out a stat for you guys just to answer your question, kind of, Robert. So There are 99 points still left to grab. You might even need to write this down, guys, right, to keep track. Okay. If you've got a pen and paper at home, I'll give you a few minutes. Get a pen and paper quickly and write this down and try and keep track. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I might be out by a few points or whatever. Scott reckons 35 wins may secure the title. I mean, I don't think you'd even need that. I think 30 wins. 46 games. Yeah, 35 wins. Probably about right. But we'll get more than that, I think. Right. You've had your time to get a pen and paper. So here we go. Or if you haven't, press pause and you can play when you've got it. There are 99 points still left for Leicester City to take. Right. Still up for grab. 99 points. That means if we won every single game from now until the end of the season, we would end up on 135 points. So our maximum points total possible right now is 135 points if we won every game from now. That means, because the points record at the minute is 106 points, right? That means we can drop 27 more points. We can drop 27 more points and still break the points record. Now, I know we can draw games. We haven't drawn any games yet. So let's just pretend in our heads in this fictional world that we don't lose any more. We don't draw any more games. That means 27 points is 9 losses. So we can get 9 more losses. We can lose 9 more games and still break the points record. 9 more losses and we break the points record. How mad is that? We can still break the points record by losing 9 more games. I find that mad. That's not win the league. That's break the points record. Second place won't end up on 106 points. Not a chance, right? It'll be somewhere between probably 90 and 100, maybe 85 to 90, 85 to 100. But we can lose 9 more games. Let's say there's no draws. We can lose 9 more games and still break the points record. So the only way that we don't break the points record is if we lose 10 games or, 5 games and whatever it is, 5 games and 15 draws, which ain't going to happen. How mad is that? I think it's in the bag. I cannot see us losing 10 games from now. I really can't. Bubba says, I don't like this talk. Assuming we're winning the league, it was only last season where we had 2 long losing streaks. Still a lot of work to be done. Don't taunt the football gods. Bubba, I can tell you right now, Leicester City are winning the championship. Like, it's happening, mate. Like, it really is. I get what you're saying. Don't taunt the football gods. Anything can happen. For me now, it's not even in my head about winning the championship. Like, it's not even a thought in my head. It's happening. It's the breaking the points record where I'm like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. So we can go unbeaten from now. And we've lost 1 game. We could easily finish the season on 1 loss. I don't think we will, by the way. I don't think we will, but we could. I think we'll maybe lose 4 more games, 4 or 5 at max. Little, one-off games where, similar to the whole game, can't break them down for whatever reason, and we'll struggle. But not 9 losses, mate. Won't happen. I think we'll break the points record quite comfortably. Richard says we will have a battle for the title. Ipswich are not going away. Richard, Ipswich are not going away. I agree, but not from second. They are not winning the championship. We are better than Ipswich. We will have more consistency than Ipswich. Our players are better than Ipswich. Our performances will be better than Ipswich. I am not concerned. Like I said, I'm not concerned about us not winning the league. So obviously I'm not concerned by Ipswich. I hope they come up with us. I would preferably want Leicester, Ipswich, and maybe Bristol City for Nigel Pearson. But other than that, I don't think we've got any competition for the championship title. I really don't. This is very optimistic, isn't it? Scott says, for me, it's a case of, right, what do we need to do in the January window to set us up for a strong position for the rest of the season and a strong foundation? Yes, Scott, it's a good point. What do you? I mean, it's early to say right now. I mean, if we've got any injuries over December, November, December, we might look at the loan market again. We might look at the loan market again. You've got to remember you're only allowed 5 loans in the Championship matchday squad, so that would be Doyle, Fatawu, Atgun. Any more loans? Fatawu, Doyle, Atgun, Cassaday. I don't think I'm missing anyone. So you're only allowed 5 on a match day. But personally, the route I think the club are going to go down in January is prep for next season. Yeah, you're right. Scott did mention it. Sorry, I must have missed that. Yeah. And that Terry agrees. I think we will be recruiting for the Premier League in January. I think we'll be recruiting for next season in January, trying to get a few players on the cheap maybe. There'll be some players out of contract where they can sign pre-contract agreements, I believe, from January. So it could happen. It could happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think that will be the route that the club goes down, to be honest with you. Seeing, if not signing players in January, then maybe at least starting the scouting or, putting the feelers out in a way. I'd poach a couple of Championship players from seeing them, guys. Let me know in the comments what Championship players stands out that you would love Leicester to sign if we go up and their respective club stays down. I've got a few, mate. Gabriel Sara, I think, is a hell of a player. Absolute hell of a player from Norwich. Along with his Norwich counterpart, Jonathan Rowe, the winger, class player. And then you can look around the Southampton squads. If you're looking at fullback, maybe a long-term replacement for Ricardo Pereira, Kyle Walker-Peters, but would we be able to get him? I'm not sure if they stayed down. Leeds maybe. Is there anyone there that you'd want? I can't really think of any. You've got your high profile like Nonto and Somerville, etc. But I think they'll go to, no offense to Leicester, but some bigger clubs or clubs that have been established in the Premier League more than us. And it's mad that we're saying that because we were an established Premier League club, but now we're not. We're not. So it's just a fact of the matter. But yeah, teams like Norwich, Ipswich, they'll probably go up though. They're the type of clubs that we want to sniff around, I think. What loan players should we try and keep? Abdul Fatawu, for sure. I think we should sign on a permanent deal. I can't see us signing Cassaday. If we can somehow sign Callum Doyle, I would, but I think it's going to be difficult. Man City probably going to look for 15, 20, 25 million for him. Whether we'll be willing to pay that, I'm not so sure. I'm a bit worried clubs will come sniffing around Enzo. I would not be worried one bit, Andy, yet. If we go up, he'll give us 1 year, I think, in the Premier League. See how we get on. After that year in the Premier League, if he does well and he could be sacked this time next year. Let's be honest, guys. This time next year, Enzo could be sacked if we have a poor start to life in the Premier League. Panic stations would be activated by Kuntop, I think, and Rodkin after what happened with Rodgers, after we left it so long. But if he has a good year, then after the 1 year in the Premier League, then I would maybe be slightly worried. Enzo might look at it and go, job done. Right, what's my next step in management? Who knows? Scott says, with all Brighton leaving, would you look at end of season? Would you go back in for Harrison from Leeds? Yeah, I mean, Jack Harrison will be returning to Leeds. He's 26 now. He was born in July. So come the window next summer, he'll be 27. 3 years out of him, I think the club will go younger with Abdul Fatawu coming in, who's 19 years old, I think now. So he'll be 20 when we come next season. I think they'll look for younger players instead, personally. Arsenal for life? Jesus. Hi, I suppose. I'm only joking, mate. Thanks for watching. Drop us a like if you can, mate. Couple of those Sunderland players look lively. Absolutely. Job Bellingham. I didn't think he had the best of games, and I'm still not convinced by him. He's changed his name now, hasn't he, on the back of his shirt to Job, because he doesn't want to be living in the shadow of Jude. But like, it's always going to happen, mate. It's always going to happen, unfortunately. He's nowhere near the player his brother is, obviously, but I don't think he's actually that good. 1 for shirt sales and 2 good squad player for high ceiling value. Really? Shirt sales? What, Bellingham? It says Job on the back now, mate. His name's Job on the back of his shirt these days. So the shirt sales probably won't be that high unless people just ask for Bellingham. They might do that. I'm not convinced by Job Bellingham. And don't get me wrong. I know he's 18. But I think if anyone's going to take a risk on him, it would be a bigger club. I think it would be, if like an Arsenal or a Chelsea or a Liverpool or Tottenham sign Job Bellingham for 10 million, that's not really a risk for them. It's really not. But for us, if we spend 10 million on Job Bellingham, it's a risk. I'm just thinking we need to be looking not only at young players, but experience and characters, as we could potentially let a few leaders leave. Yeah, Scott. I would agree. Yeah. Now to think of it, Harrison probably wouldn't be the worst of buys, but there's probably other names out there that I would prefer. Who knows? Next season, maybe Riyad Mahrez comes back for a little year in the Premier League. Who knows? Do you think Vardy will leave Leicester next year? Yes, I do. I think Jamie Vardy will leave Leicester City this summer, especially if we get promoted. I think Jamie Vardy will end the season, end his Leicester career on a high. Whether he retires or moves to, he won't go Saudi. So whether he retires or moves to America, could be a thing. He could join a Champions League club to meet squad registration rules, homegrown player rules, like Scott Carson, for example, we've seen at Man City. But I think this will be his last year in a Leicester shirt. And I think you can see it in his celebrations. I know that sounds mad because Vardy's always been a wind-up merchant, but I think there's something different this year. I just think he's taking it an extra level. I think he's on his retirement tour around England. Yeah. Here we go. Ugh. A long way to go. Don't like this kind of talk. It has a habit of coming and biting you. I was told it would bite me in the arse when I said Leicester City are going to start the season really well and win a load of games, and look what's happened. So, no, I'm not having this boring. No offense, Robert. It's not personal because I'd say it to anyone. N-Dog in the chat. I would read your comment out, mate, but that's that name on your YouTube channel is out of order, so I'm banning you for that. You can change your name, create a new account if you want, but I'm not putting that on screen. Robert, no offense, it's not personal, because I'd say it to Phil, who obviously runs Leicester Fan TV. I'd say it to him if he said the same thing. It's boring, mate. Come on, we're top of the league. If we've not got a reason, if this isn't a reason to be confident and cocky and, giving it the large, what is, mate? I mean, come on. Vardy will retire at end of the season. Yeah, see, I've got a feeling, mate. I think he would have renewed by now for another year. Richard, definitely agree with you. We could lose Vardy and Iheanacho in the summer. So do you think if Vardy retires, he will stay on with the club as a coach? If he retires, I think he might just take a year out of, look, everyone in the comments, we all would love nothing more. We would love nothing more to have been a professional footballer for Leicester City, right? Let's be honest, right? For anyone, we'd have all have chopped off an arm. Well, then you might not be a footballer, so you know what I mean. Maybe chopped off without. I didn't want to be rude. Then chopped off a part of your male organ or something. I don't know. To be a footballer, to be a professional footballer, and we know from our point of view it's an easy job, but for them it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Being a professional footballer for so many years is when you retire, I think he'll just want to put his feet up for a year and just relax when I say relax for Jamie Vardy, it's probably getting on the drinks. You know what I mean? But I think Vardy will put on a few pounds, when he retires, if I'm honest. But actually, no, he does look like the type. He does look like the type of guy to eat like 4,000 calories a day and not put on any weight, doesn't he? But yeah. But I just think he'll take a year out, maybe 2 years out. I think he will come back to the club at some point. You never know if he isn't a very good coach or whatever, scout or, what do they have these days? Loans managers and stuff like that. If he's not very good, maybe he'll go Sheffield Wednesday. Fleetwood Town, who knows? Terry says, I think Mrs. Vardy will tell him what he's doing. Potentially. You think he'd be like, right, love, shut the hell up. It's what I don't get about the whole Vardy thing. Like, it just makes me wonder why he just didn't control, why he didn't put a stop to. They don't need to. It's just crazy, isn't it? The whole Becky Vardy stuff's mad, but we love you, Vards. We love you, Vards. Even if your missus does some questionable things, we are in love with you, Jamie Vardy. Has Vardy not got his academy or his shares in an MLS club? I don't know what. I think that's gone down like a fart in a lift, mate, if I'm honest with you, that MLS club stuff. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. We could be 18 points clear in front of Leeds by the time we play them. That's correct. Obviously, we've got QPR. And Leeds have Huddersfield, so that's probably a win. So probably remain 14 points. But can you imagine Vardy as a pundit or a commentator? Probably not. Probably not. I could imagine him like maybe he'll fulfill his lifelong dream of being like a holiday rep in Ibiza. I think that would be fitting, don't you? Doesn't need the money. He'll work minimum wage out there. It's fine. But can you imagine booking a holiday through Jet2 next year? Or in 2 years' time to Alcudia or Ibiza, Magaluf. I was going to say the funny name for Magaluf then, but Magaluf, Malia, Zante, Ayanapa. Any more? And can you imagine showing up to the airport and there you go. It's Jamie Vardy on the front desk giving you information about your holiday and excursions and probably not that stuff, but probably more like where to find the cheapest bar that do 10 shots for £1 or something like that. Lineker's Bar, or the Fox's Arms. Vardy as a commentator or pundit would be gold. Yeah, I just don't think it's his thing, is it really? I can't see it. I could see him as what about bouncer? I think being a bouncer would be funny. He could start his retirement in Los Angeles with the LA Galaxy. Yeah, you never know. I just think, yeah, he could do a job in MLS. I just think he might take a rest, a well-earned rest. Don't forget. Vardy is CNN, not chatty enough to be a pundit. Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. As it says here, please like, share, and subscribe to Leicester Fan TV. What I was going to ask you guys, please, I ask you this every week. I'm asking you guys, we've had a laugh tonight. Do me one favor. Some of you haven't subscribed. Do you know how easy it is to literally on YouTube scroll down and just hit subscribe? And if you're not on YouTube, just hit the like button on Facebook or head over to YouTube and hit subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. That's all I ask. I don't want anything. Don't want your money. I don't want your money. Don't want it. Just want you to subscribe, please. It helps us out big time. And yeah, guys, I hope you're enjoying the channel at the minute. It's obviously very easy to talk and be positive when things are going as well as they are. Complete opposite to last season, as we know. But we're all Leicester fans here. Ryan says, please keep rattling them Leeds fans on Twitter. I will, mate. I will. Don't worry about that. We're all Leicester fans here. We all love Leicester. We all love everything about Leicester. We all want what's best for Leicester. Guys, I remember being sat here September, August, July, June. 4 months ago, guys. 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I sat here in this chair doing a video. You can watch it back still, talking about Leicester's relegation, and it was heartbreaking. And people in the comments were angry, were upset, were sad, giving people at the club abuse. being nostalgic. You know, I know it was only 7 years ago or 8 years ago that we got promoted, but still, or 9 years ago, sorry. But being nostalgic, that was 4 or 5 months ago, guys. And now look at us. We're happy as Larry. You know, we're winning games every week. We're scoring goals every week. We're conceding minimal goals every week. And we're going up and we're breaking the points record while we do it. Vardy's going to, you know, score a load of goals as well. We're having a great time. A little break from the Premier League, but we'll be back next year. And more importantly, we will be back on Leicester Fan TV in 3 days. Sunday, Fox's Arms, live, Jamie, the Aftermath show at 10 a.m. So we'll see you there. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Drop me a follow on Twitter at LCFC, I think. LMLCFC_. And we'll catch you next time on Leicester Fan TV. Cheers all. And as always, come on, you Foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.